It's not a day for a video, but it may be historical because this may be Joe Biden's fairy tale moment. In 2008, to save the primaries, Bill Clinton was dispatched by Hillary Clinton and went out to try to get the rural white vote together. And he made his famous fairy tale comment about Barack Obama that kind of alienated the black vote from Hillary Clinton at that moment. And as you can see, history says it was never the same again between blacks and the Clintons. And I feel like Joe Biden, who is not as beloved as Bill Clinton ever was, may have just killed off his chances with the black community, with the sympathies and the stance against the looting and the riots and the violence and the whatever else. Because if you follow the bouncing ball, it says America does not have a problem being sympathetic to a burning target, being sympathetic to a police officer who's been harmed. What America has a goddamn problem with is valuing the life of a 26-year-old EMT who was shot in her bed because she is black and for no other reason. So the other things, you do not have to run out and say they already have a value. We already understand it. Black Lives Matter means currently they don't. People have been saying that for years. It's ad nauseum. Nobody cares because they're going to keep saying the same shit. What about the looting? What about the police officers? What about the this? So we've had DeSantis come out, the Police Protection Act, because there are no protections in the law for police. So he needs to create penalties for harming police because they don't already exist. Now, what doesn't exist is penalty for police officers being unprofessional and harming citizens. It already exists the other way around, but they're doubling down on that and are MIA on the other. Lost Bill Maher, who's made it a point to mention looting for the past couple of weeks. So I think we're going to lose a few liberals and progressives who find nothing threatening about people showing up with AR-15s or shooting the protesters with paint guns or mocking it by sitting on each other's necks or coming and getting involved in violent clashes or even splitting the liberals and progressives by going out and committing damage and having it blamed on the Black Lives Matter movement. So any one of those things has been enough to turn people who don't want to be on black people's side in the first place against the movement. Good riddance. Bye. Have a nice life. You're an old white man and you're not going to be around for when the world gets better. At this point, I'm ready for a second Trump administration. I'm ready for them to stack the Supreme Court because liberals want to get along with them more than they want to fix America. So we will have to see if the country that comes out of the ashes that this one's going to collapse into at this rate, because there's no victory. There's no victory with another Trump administration. He can't be elected for a third term, so the country is going to be ungovernable. Nobody's going to be happy. Black people you work with, you're going to know how they really feel. The white people that you're around, you know how they really feel. And that's where we are. And that's a scar, and we're not going to be able to get over it. They weren't able to get over the last one without a civil war, and we're kind of plunging headlong into that again under very similar circumstances. No one really saw it coming. A lot of rhetoric, a lot of anger on both sides. And tens of thousands of dead Americans later, they were able to reconcile, but there's too much technology, too many people, too many things involved this time, that whatever comes out of this may be learning Mandarin. But I think this is a pivotal moment for Joe Biden, because he's making ads about violence. He's making statements for the police officers, and there already was not much enthusiasm for him to get the nomination. There was just some fuck shit behind the scenes like they did with Hillary and Bernie, where they awarded her states that Bernie had won, and all of a sudden we had all these Democrats bail out the primaries and throw their support behind Biden. But him and an Indian prosecutor are not the ideal tickets for progressive America. So we'll let McConnell the hypocrite put his justice, and we'll take America from there. As usual, fuck you. Don't need you to subscribe. Don't give a fuck about your comments. I'm a grown-ass man, so my life doesn't revolve around likes. I'm just some guy, and only I know what's best. Have a great night.